Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to you all. So today, before I start my video, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Nur Hidayah binti Ahmad Tamizi, and I am a UITM student. So today, in this video, I would like to present about the explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. On 4 August 2020, a large amount of ammonium nitrate stored at the port of the city of Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, exploded, causing at least 204 deaths, 6,500 injuries, and $50 billion in property damage, and leaving an estimated 300,000 people homeless. A cargo of 2,750 tons of the substance, equivalent to around 1.1 kiloton of TNT, had been stored in a warehouse without a proper safety measure for the previous 6 years. After having been confiscated by the Lebanese authorities from the abandoned ship MV Roses, the explosion was preceded by a fire in the same warehouse. But as of November 2020, the exact cause of the detonation is still under investigation. Blasts were felt in Turkey, Syria, Israel, Palestine, and part of Europe, and was heard in Cyprus, more than 240 kilometers (150 miles) away. It was detected by the United States Geological Survey as a seismic event of magnitude 3.3 and is considered one of the most powerful artificial non-nuclear explosions in history. The Lebanese government declared a 2-week state of emergency in response to the disaster. In its aftermath, protests erupted across Lebanon against the government for their failure to prevent the disaster, joining a large series of protests which have been taking place across the country since 2019. For you guys' information, the explosion happened twice in Beirut, Lebanon. Fire and first explosion. On the afternoon of 4 August 2020, a fire broke out in Warehouse 12 at the port of Beirut. Warehouse 12 was waterside and next to the grain silo. The warehouse stored the ammonium nitrate that had been confiscated from MV Roses, alongside a stash of fireworks. Around 17:55 local time, a team of 9 firefighters and 1 paramedic known as Platoon 5 was dispatched to fight the fire. On arrival, the fire crew reported there was something wrong as the fire was huge and produced a crazy sound. The first explosion at about 18:07 local time, likely triggered by the store fireworks, set up a large cloud of smoke and a crackle of bright firework flashes and heavily damaged the structure of the warehouse itself with a force equivalent to around 1.5 to 2.5 tons of TNT, the size of a mid-sized truck bomb. For the final explosion, that means the second explosion, happened about 33 to 35 seconds later, was much more substantial. It rocked central Beirut and sent a red-orange cloud into the air, which was briefly surrounded by a white condensation cloud. The orange-red color of the smoke was caused by nitrogen dioxide, a byproduct of ammonium nitrate decomposition. The second explosion was felt in northern Israel and in Cyprus, 240 kilometers (150 miles) away. By the next morning, the main fire that led to the explosion had been extinguished. This is a satellite image showing the match at the Beirut blast site. As you can see here, the picture on the left taken before the explosion happened. It was 25 January 2020, and for the picture on the right is happened after the explosion on 5 August 2020. As you guys can see from the picture on the right, the crater was made because of the explosion. For the next slide, you guys can see the difference between this picture. This is a picture that shows the effect from the explosion that happened in Beirut, Lebanon. Warehouses in the port were used to store explosives and chemicals, including nitrate, common component of fertilizer and explosives. The General Director of General Security, Major General Abbas Ibrahim, said the ammonium nitrate confiscated from Roses had exploded. The 2,750 tons means 3,030 short tons of ammonium nitrate was the equivalent to around 1,155 tons of TNT. The failure to remove the material from the warehouse and relocate them was attributed to mismanagement of the port, corruption of the government, and inaction of the flag registry country and ship owner. Lebanese Broadcasting Corporation International said that according to attendees of a higher defense council briefing, the fire was ignited by workers welding a door at a warehouse. A former port worker said that there was 30 to 14 nylon bags of fireworks inside warehouse 12 that he had personally seen. An American diplomatic cable on 7 August said it remained unclear whether firework ammunition or something else stored next to the ammonium nitrate might have been involved in worsening the warehouse fire and igniting the ammonium nitrate. A port worker said warehouse 12 was not in regular use and that those in charge only used to open the warehouse to stay inside it material confiscated upon judicial orders or previous products, though he had not seen this to include any amendments. Around 3,000 tons of ammonium nitrate taken from a ship off the coast of Beirut 6 years ago and then stored in a warehouse has been blamed for the explosion that ripped through the packed area of the Lebanese capital on Tuesday. So, what is ammonium nitrate? Ammonium nitrate is a crystal-like white solid which is made in large industrial quantities. Its biggest use is as source of nitrogen for fertilizer, but it is also used to create explosives for mining. Ammonium nitrate cannot be found in the ground because it is synthetic made by reacting ammonia with nitric acid. Ammonium nitrate is made all over the world and is relatively cheap to buy, but storing it can be a problem, and it has been associated with serious industrial accidents in the past. Ammonium nitrate is commercially available both as a colorless, crystalline solid and processed into prill for specific application. Soluble in water, does not readily burn but will do so if contaminated with combustible material. Accelerate the burning of combustible material, produce toxic oxide of nitrogen during combustion, used to make fertilizer and explosives, and as a nutrient in producing antibiotics and yeast. The picture shows the structure of ammonium nitrate. From Beirut shows smoke billowing from a fire and then a mushroom cloud following the blast. It has a supersonic shockwave that is traveling through the air, and you can see that in the white spherical cloud which travel out from the center, expanding outward. The shockwave is produced from compressed air. The air expands rapidly and cools suddenly as the water condenses, which causes the clouds. The ammonium nitrate explosion can release toxic gas into the air. As part, it can release toxic gas including nitrogen oxide and ammonia gas. The orange plum is caused by the nitrogen dioxide, as you can see on the previous slide before, which is often associated with air pollution. If there isn't much wind, it could become a danger to the people nearby. And for your information, the ammonium nitrate also has been used in bombs. With such a powerful blast, ammonium nitrate has been used by armies around the world as an explosive. It has also been used in several terrorist acts, including the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. In that instance, Timothy McVeigh used 2 tons of ammonium nitrate to create a bomb which destroyed a federal building and killed 168 people. That's it for my video. Thank you for watching.